What's going on, Paisanos? V here. Today I have my new and updated branded Despia deck list. Before I begin, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, and comment down below. This is Imperium Duelist, by the way, their new playmat, Forest Nightmare. Go over to their website and check it out. Once again, it's Imperium Duelist, Forest Nightmare. Use promo code Bystial10. This is an upgraded playmat. New texture, new colors. I mean, it really just jumps out. I didn't do nothing to add to this. This is actually the playmat. It's double-sided playmat. Really gorgeous. Once again, go to Imperium Duelist website. Check it out. It's called Nightmare Forest. So, yeah. Let me know if you guys like it, by the way. Alright. Forest Nightmare. Not Nightmare Forest. Forest Nightmare. I always keep making that mess. Okay. So, what I'm going to do, guys, for anyone new to this channel, I'm going to show you guys my main side extra deck. Once I show you my main side extra deck, we'll go over some key points I think are really interesting to note. One thing I want to say overall, though, is with this build, you play right through Ash, Blossom, and Joyous Spring. You force your opponent, basically, to have a better answer than just Ash, Blossom, and Joyous Spring. Those days are long behind us with this new build. This is a 45 card build, and I do think this is the best version of branded Despia out right now. So right out the gate, I'll just move some things over here. We got 3 Alaba, 3 Fauna Albaz, 3 Droll Lockbird, double Ash, Blossom, and Joy Spring, 1 Quem, 1 Cartesia, 1 Lubellion, 1 Serenier, 1 Dark Magician, 1 Despian Tragedy, 1 Ablibiton, 1 Game of Poker Nightmare, 1 Albion, and 1 Mercurius. So this is the monster lineup. Alright. Once again, like I said, if you guys have any questions, comment down below. I'm going to be showing up probably some videos if you guys want. If you guys want to see some videos of some combos, let me know. Comment down below. There's a ton of combos with this deck, and they're all really fun, actually. And they're all really intuitive. Alright. We also have, for spells, 3 Branded Fusion, 3 Branded Opening, 3 Fusion Deployment, 3 Nadia Servant, 3 Crosser Designator, 2 Talents, 2 Super Polys, 1 Branded Loss, 1 Branded and High Spirits, 1 Branded Red, and for all traps, it's just Branded Expulsion and Branded Retribution. So that is the trap lineup. Alright, we'll go over the side deck. This varies from locals to locals, I guess, but this is when I build my side, I usually build it for like regions and YCS. Alright, so we got double Magnamud, 1 Jewel's Worm, 3 Radiant, 1 Perform Power High 5 Magician, 3 Dark Rule No More, 3 Cosmic Cyclone, 1 Super Poly, and 1 Talents. And then for our extra deck, we have double Mirror Jade, double Albion, 1 Lubellion, double Grand Granule, 1 Guardian Chimera, 1 Garura, 1 Dragon Sapelia, 1 Ringbrum, 1 Albion Sanctified Dragon, Despian Queritus, Red Eyes Dragoon, and Despian Ludo Walilith. Alright, so let's go over the extra deck, then we'll go aside and main. We'll talk about our choices. So if you notice, with a lot of branded lists, they're playing either 1 Queritus or 1 Ludo Walilith. Or the ones that are playing 2, I don't think really explaining it properly. So ideally, whenever you use Grand Granule, you basically want to use, ideally, Ludo Walilith. But the reason why we keep in Queritus still is because it has such a good Sword Soul matchup. This card basically screws over Sword Souls. It's just good against getting rid of Baron as well. Your opponent goes into Baron, you go into Queritus, activate Queritus effect. Baron has to negate and destroy. The minute Baron does that, then you go into Fauna Albaz, and then your opponent's basically in a really tight spot. So that's why I like this card a lot. I think it's really good. And with Grand Granule, it's easy to bring this one out. Ludo Walilith does have application, so I think you realistically need to play both of these. I am playing 2 Grand Granule. I'm testing it out. To be honest with you, I feel like I go into 1 all the time. 2 is situational, but it does come up a lot of times, so I feel like 2 might be needed. I'm still testing it, but for the most part, I think 2 Grand Granule is probably going to be the mainstay. For the other cards, we're playing Dragoon. So one thing interesting about Dragoon is the fact that, like, almost every branded build is 50-50 on Dragoon. Every video you see is going to be talking about 50-50 on Dragoon. The way I see it is you either run Dragoon or you run the Burn guy, whose name I always forget about because I barely go into him. Dragoon comes up more, and he's basically the card you want to bring on the follow-up. He's the card that's also good against Kashiras. He's the card that's good against Traptrix. He's the card that's good against Labyrinth. Why would you not want to play this card? This card is broken. All you gotta do is put 1 Dark Magician in your deck, branded players, and this card's basically playable. So yeah, I'm playing Dragoon. I don't know why people are not playing this card. This card's insane. This is a must-have card. Albion Sanctified Dragon, I think this is staple. Ringbom's a card I don't really want to play, but the reason why I'm playing Ringbom is because he has pretty good synergy with Nadir Servant, so basically that's one reason why. Bringing him out against Kashiras obviously is good as well, so we're going to have him here as a good option. We still run Drexapelia, Garura as well. Guardian Chimera. Guardian Chimera only works for basically Brandon and Red. It's so weird though. But the thing is, you still need to keep Guardian Chimera because it's still really good. Like, with Brandon, Red, and Chimera, it's almost like a needed thing that you want to have. Even though there's only one card, it's a searchable card, and if you do your combo right, this is a really good card overall. So, we're keeping that card in. A lot of builds are only playing one Lubellion, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think one Lubellion's more than enough needed for this deck. Then you got your Albions, and then Mirror Jade. I am working on trying to get this deck max ready. We're almost done. I actually ordered a Starlight Dragoon today, so $300, well spent. Konami, please don't ban that card. Alright, so let's go on the side deck. If you notice, I played 2 Super Poly and 2 Talents in the main, and the reason why I want to do that is because I feel like Super Poly is a good going second card. Talents is ideally a good going second, but much better good going first card, especially in the current meta. It allows you to extend past hand traps. It allows you to punch your opponent if you do have more answers. So I didn't want to get rid of this card or this card. There are certain matches where this one's good and this one, and other matches where this one's good, and there are certain matches where they're both good depending on the game you play. So I really want to play both of these. I want to play. This would be a 46, 47th, but I don't want to go beyond 45. And I think this is more than enough, to be honest with you. But these cards are absolutely insane. 3 Cosmic Cyclone. The guy that won the Israeli Nationals said he wished he played 3, and I agree with that. Cosmic Cyclone is a great card. It's a card that you need to respond fast with. Some people want to play Lightning Storm. As much as I love that card and own the Starlights is great, Cosmic Cyclone is just a better card. I mean, this card is needed to stop that anti-spell. If we get anti-spelled, it's annoying, and this is out to it, and you want to really draw that. All right. 3 Dark Rule No More. Some people don't like this card, but I feel like, I guess, like Nichiria Runix, this card's really good. This card's just needed overall in the game. You just need it in your side deck. Almost everyone basically is playing Dark Rule, and I don't blame them at all. This card's really good for random players. We need some way to stop your opponent's board in order to have a better going second game. This is basically just one card that we could bring out easily. Just so, I'm not sure if it will beat or slow down, but definitely put a dent in the plans of every single Super Heavy Samurai player. Why not play? It's one card, and it can hurt them. Don't get mistaken, though. If I had a choice between this card and doing Game Public Nightmare, I would do Nightmare, then this card, but it's also a good option at the end of the day. Alright. And then we have Radiance. So, being the fact that we do run Dragoon, Radiant's a great card. You go Dragoon, his 3k, Dragoon effect, pop a Radiant, that's 28, and Dragoon, that's 5,800 between 2 cards that you play in this deck. So that's what my thought process behind playing this card is. I know it's a level 7, it's not good against Kashiras, I get that, but we already have a really good matchup against Kashiras, so I don't really need to worry about that as much. I think Radiant's still a great card in general, and even though there's that other card whose name I forgot, I have the Ultra Rare Speed, though I would place that card. That card's not bad. I think Radiance is better because we run Dragoon. And then we have the Bystial engine. So, Mathmex have been popping up a lot lately. This is your answer against Mathmex. They don't want to see you open any Bystials, because if you do, they're really in a tight spot. You can run 3 Magnuma if you want to. I like to run 1 Druid's Worm because I have a little more variety in the siding pattern. So, that's why I decided to do it that way. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the main deck. I think these are pretty much staples. Brandon High Spirits normally isn't a staple. So a lot of Brandon plays I'm seeing is playing Spriggan's Kit. And I'm not a big fan of Spriggan's Kit because with Brandon, if you lose hand advantage or any kind of hand, you basically lost the game. You're not in top deck mode against your opponent who has a couple of cards. You're the buy at that point. So this card alleviates that. It gives you more value. It helps set your board up more. I think this is a great card. I don't like Spriggan's Kit. I understand why it has good usage, but to be honest with you, if you don't have enough of a hand, you're not going to be able to get your opponent on the clapback. You're not going to be able to get your opponent at all. Going second, Kit's even worse of a card. That's almost an auto slide out. I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather play Brandon High Spirits instead of Spriggan's Kit, and that's what I decided to do in this build. So like I said, I already explained the Super Polys and Talents. Talents is insane this meta. I think almost everyone should play this card. This card is so good. So what I did was I placed it across out and the Dia Servant. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this is because every build I saw either played cross out or Nadia Servant. I saw one build on, I seen every brand that list online, by the way. There was one build that ran both of these. It ran more of a 40, I think it was a 41 card deck. Not bad, But this is a have your cake and eat it too. And we can do this in branded. Yes, you have to play more cards, but it wouldn't matter. Those cards are, of course, that's there in the Deer Servant if they're going to help you get into combo. Go past Ash Blossom Joy Spring and lock your opponent out. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day how many cards is in your deck, as long as you consistently lock your opponent out. And if your opponent has Ash Blossom Joy Spring and you have the Deer Servant and your Branded Fusion gets Ash, this will help you get to that game stage. So I think this is a much needed card. I think both of these are needed and they're both in the deck. I'm never going to take these out. I do got to already bump my Deer Servants, but I'm working on my Starlights. I need 4 more Starlights and I'm done with this deck as far as Starlights. Alright. Then we have, I mean, these are all the staples, 100% the staples, nothing too crazy. One card that I don't play that I love to play, but I just don't have the room, is the other Branded Trap, which I forgot the name already. Branded Banishment, there it is. I like Branded Banishment a lot, but I feel like Super Poly is so much better in this meta for us. In this build, we run 3 in a Deer Servant, so Super Poly is even better than Branded Banishment. And even though Branded Banishment is really good against the Mirror Match, Super Poly also is even better against the Mirror Match. So that's why I decided to play Super Poly. Branded Banishment's a great card, but you don't really need it if you're playing Super Poly, so that's my reasoning for not playing that card. I run 3 Ash and 2 Ash and 3 Draw. I think Ash isn't as good as meta. I feel like a lot of decks, including this deck, can play right through an Ash, whereas Dro can slow plays down. I think Dro's a much better card. I'm playing 3 Dro. The only reason I'm playing 2 Ash is because if we draw Ash and cross out, we can still cross out Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, so we can go ahead and resolve Branded Fusion. So that's why I wanted to play 2 of this card. I don't like this card. There are other people out there saying, wait a minute, V, but what about like Infinite and Permanence? Yeah, we could play around that. We could easily play around that. You open something like, where is it? You open something like it's really late, it's like 4 in the morning, I have to be able to work in a couple hours, but if you're on Fusion Employment, that's how you play around Infinite Permanence, Effect Failure, Ghost Mode. You play around all that crap. That stuff does nothing to us. That's why Fusion Employment is so good in this deck, because it brings out Cartesia. Now, with these cards, you can't play, if you have Cartesia, you can't play around really realistically anything, so you gotta be really more, you know, put a lot more thought into it. And this is why cross out the main card you want to stop is Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. Also gonna get some mirror match as well, cross the designator, so it also has more you know, utility in that as well. Then we have 3 Fauna Albaz. I don't like 3 Fauna Albaz, but the reason why we're playing 3 Fauna Albaz is because we're playing a more aggressive build, using the Deer Servant, meaning we're going to be running through our Fauna Albazes a lot faster. Play against Kashiras, you lose 2, you still have that 1, and that's going to help you still play the game. The second you lose 2 Fauna Albaz, if you only play 2 against Kashiras, it's game over. You're playing a awkward game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That you're more than likely not going to be able to win. So I think 3 is a necessity in this build. Other builds might consider running 2, and that's fine, but I think 3 is a must-have if you want to run this exact build. For the most part, everything's pretty much staple. I think the only bit of contention would be Blazing Cartesia and Gwem. I'm seeing people play builds that run 2 Gwem. I'm seeing people play builds that run 2 Cartesia. Cartesia is a great card, but it's easy to get out. Just as Gwem is a great card and is easy to get out. I feel like both of these are great, and if you lose one or the other, you can still play the deck very consistently. They just both enhance the way you play the deck. So if you play against Kashiras and lose one, you're still good to go. In fact, if you lose both but resolve Branded Fusion, did it really matter? I would argue no. With that said, they are both great cards, but I don't want to play 2 because the minute you resolve one on board or have one in rotation where it's in your hand and you can bring it out easily, you realistically don't need the other one. It becomes a dud of a card, a free pitch that you don't want to have. You're opening a hand of 4 cards because you really want to see these 2 that badly, even though you play a deck that can easily search these 2 cards out several times over again. So that's my thought process. I don't think you need a second Cartesia. I don't think you need a second Gwem. I just think you just need to consistently bring these cards out. And by playing multiple copies, you might be able to do it a little bit easier. But the second you put them on board, that second Gwem that you draw, the second Cartesia you draw, does absolutely nothing for you. Once again, guys, this is my deck. It's a really good deck. I think it's really probably the best build of branded Despias in the game right now. I'm looking forward to taking this deck to Nationals. Hopefully we don't get a bans, but if we do, I'll have an updated build after that as well. I have some combo videos if you guys want to see that. Comment down below, let me know. If I get enough comments, we'll say like 100 likes, I will do combo videos showing you. There's another YouTuber who did a great video talking about if you get Ash automatically, what do you do? And every time he played, he basically was able to lock his opponent out. I can do that IRL, just shuffling random hands, getting a dice, cutting a couple of times, you know, equal to the number of dice. And then we could do that as well in case you guys want me to do that. But if you want me to do that, hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below. It's your boy V, and you boys also have a great day.